Here we go. Brooke, you got to be on your best behavior. Thank you. Okay.
I know it's on my best
Hey,
behavior.
Brooke. Okay, guys. So I don't have any videos, unfortunately, for today. But the point is today, I would like us to interact a little bit more. Okay. And I'm just gonna tell you right now, this may be a little bit more redundant for some of my my regular clients. You know, if you've ever trained with me one-on-one, this is this should be stuff that you remember. I'm not expecting you to remember everything, but you should remember this stuff, okay? If you don't, it's going to be a good refresher, all right? But before we jump in, you guys, as always, are there any questions? Anything about anything, you guys?
For the Washington Superior Court, so Washington.
Yeah, who's playing the date? Who's watching the news? Is that Lorda?
No.
Somebody. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns? Remember, this can be about anything. It can be about your programs, your training programs, whatever. Fitness, health related.
Okay, I'm ready to start mine.
Well, I'm ready for you to start too, Walker. You just hold up space in there, Walker. All right, we'll figure that out. I think Saturday would be the best day to meet, honestly, to do your consultation on Saturday.
Okay.
Yeah, just plan on Saturday, okay?
I'll remind you on Saturday.
After boot camp.
I'm stretching on Saturday too.
Yeah, good. Yeah, you'll be there anyways. We can just knock all that out.
Uh-huh.
Lourdes, how you doing on your program, Lourdes? I know you got you missed like 2 or 3 weeks or something, but
Yeah. Well, I did it this past Monday.
oh, okay, good. You're knocking out the workouts?
Yes.
The leg days. Well, this is kind of the topic of the call today. And I was who's that? Brittany, what is going on over there, Brittany? Wait, you coming back in? What the? I got you on 2 different things, Brittany.
Okay. I'm over here preparing my chicken breast.
Okay, good, Walker. This is part of what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
Brittany, can you hear me? Okay, Brittany's good. All right, whatever. Oh wait, she's switching over to someone. I don't know what's going on. Well, listen, so I was trying to figure out like a good name for like the topic today. This is going to be the topic today. Making fitness a lifestyle or something like that. It's going to be along those lines. Okay.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Yeah. How we go about making fitness a lifestyle. Okay. Because at the end of the day, you guys, let's be real. This is going to be a little touchy today. All right. This is going to be a little touchy. Let's be real. How many people do you know yourselves in your life, including you, that are where you want to be with your health and fitness right now at this moment?
I don't know nobody because I showed them.
Exactly. That was a rhetorical question, but yes. And there's not. Look, when we talk about this, I'm not getting on anybody. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm not saying you suck in life. I'm not saying any of that stuff. But I'm just saying that the reality is, it'd be really hard pressed to find somebody who's where they want to be with their health and wellness, right?
Exactly.
For various reasons. And obviously, if you cannot make fitness a lifestyle, you're gonna have a hard time achieving any kind of goals in terms of health and wellness, right?
And that's true, yes.
So, and even at the gym, you guys, for the people that go to the gyms, let's be real. I've been a trainer for 20 years, and unfortunately, I've seen a lot of people get gym memberships. Most of them don't even use the damn thing. I would say like probably less than a third. And I looked at the numbers because I was a fitness manager, so I had access to all these numbers. Probably less than a third of the people that actually join the gym end up using the gym. But they'll still pay for the membership, though.
Yeah, I stopped using mine when COVID started, but I did use it when I had it.
Yeah, you did. But
yeah, but I stopped using when COVID
people don't.
To the park.
Yeah, most people don't. And then you'll see if you do go to the gym regularly, you'll see a lot of people there. And again, I'm not knocking anybody. I'm just speaking the truth. You'll see a lot of people there that look the same week after week after week after month after month after year, right?
Especially all the girls that
not-
go to Zumba.
Oh my God. Some of the class people are the worst because that's the only thing they do. You know what I mean? And I'm a group, and I own a group exercise business. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but group exercise in reality, you can start with it and do fine. You can start with it. It helps you build the habits. It helps you stay consistent. And I vary it enough to where, it's going to be hard to plateau with mine. But even if that's all you're doing, you'll probably hit a plateau at some point. So, group exercise at the end of the day should not just be your plan. It should be like a supplement to your plan, right?
Right.
Make sense? So, does that make sense, you
Yeah,
guys? Yeah. Okay. So, with all that said, let's move on. So, as far as making fitness a lifestyle, and there's no right or wrong with this, you guys. What do you think are some major steps that you need to take to do that? Or it can be anything, you guys.
Jersey.
Where do you think you should start? If you're gonna make fitness a lifestyle, where should you start?
First of all, I think no excuses.
Oh,
No, I had a doctor's appointment at 8 in the morning. No, I had to take the kids to school. Like me, I've made fitness my lifestyle because I don't do I work out between 8:30 and 9:30, 10 in the morning.
yeah.
And if I have any doctor's appointment, dentist appointment, anything, I do it at 10, 11, or 12.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to make yourself available. Is what you're trying to say?
First of all, you need to stay consistent.
Yeah.
Get a proper diet. log in all your information.
Yeah. I agree. I agree.
And I, as a,
Okay. Those
you need
are,
a you need a program.
Ooh.
Yeah, you program exactly.
I think also
You need help.
I feel like a trainer is very vital
To me,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
a lot of people don't have the money or
something for trainers, but you just gotta kind of look around. I have some friends that are trying to lose weight,
and they're doing it wrong.
wrong. I keep telling them like, okay, y'all gotta get a trainer or something, but
Right.
They, they're not listening. They're not losing the weight
they want to. So
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly. Well, I'll tell you what. You guys are all on track. Those are all good answers. They're all very valid, very true. But let's get a little more specific. Where do you think you should start? What's like the very first step?
Maybe like
Gym or
Hang on. One at a time. Hey, who has something to say?
I think getting your diet together first.
Okay.
I really think you should get your diet together first and start logging in everything. And to me, you need to stay consistent with going to work out, eating right, getting your water in, getting all that water in.
Okay. Who else has something to say?
Trying to keep yourself on track. Write it down if you can't log it in.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
I think also like me, I've never in my life been in a diet. I don't eat healthy, but I don't eat that bad. What I do is I eat in proportions. And like, let's say I want to eat a hamburger, I'll get a junior burger and I'll just eat like 3 or 4 of the fries instead of getting one of those regular meals.
So
And if I go out to like a restaurant, I'll eat like the tilapia tacos instead of eating something else.
yeah.
But I mean, I've been for the past 5 years, I've been weighing between 120 and 125 is the most. And I eat tacos, tostadas, tortillas, rice, everything.
Yeah, you weigh the same damn thing since I've known you, but you're just saying you got some good habits in place that are contributing to where your success.
You need to see where you're at. You need to see where you're starting.
What's that?
You need to see where you're starting. You need to know where you're at. Get a goal.
Okay, elaborate on that a little bit more. What do you mean by that?
Like if you go to a coach, they're going to tell you what percentage your body is straight line. You go to the doctor, they're going to say, oh, damn, you're about to die. You're so unfit or whatever.
Yeah.
Or just find out where you're at. And then you can build the program around that.
Yeah. Those are all
Did-
good, you guys. Who's that? Walker? Oh my God. What happened to Walker? Her phone probably died. Okay, Brittany, Brooke, you guys got anything to add to that?
Yeah, I agree with Lauren that you gotta know your starting point. Because not everybody start the same. You can't all just go in, you know.
Okay. Hey, Walker, you're muted. You can unmute yourself if you want. Okay, so
Leave. Oh.
listen, Walker, she just
She disappeared.
oh, you guys can see that too. Okay, so listen, man, Walker needs to hear this. Where is she?
Okay, Emma.
Somebody help her, please.
Help out, Lourdes. Help her.
Somebody help her. Lourdes
She's
You
there.
designated as Walker's
There she go.
caregiver.
She's connecting.
You're Walker's caregiver.
She connecting.
She gotta get on
Walker,
the camera and
hey,
unmute.
hey, don't hang up, Walker. Just hit the microphone. You see that microphone? Tap your screen and hit the microphone.
Tap, tap, tap in.
You muted yourself, Walker. I'm gonna hang on. Let me. All right, guys. I think she can hear me. So listen, those are all good answers, you guys. But again, actually, I would agree with Lourdes. Something Lourdes said before as the best starting point. Oh my God, Walker, as the best starting point, you guys. Because yeah, eating healthy is obviously important. Getting your body composition, obviously, you got to have kind of a clear map, right? But before you can do any of that shit, first of all, you have to choose. You have to decide that you want to be better. That's the very initial step is like, okay, what do I want to do with myself? What do I want to do with my health and my wellness? And you got to make a decision to want to get better. Now, once you've decided to do that, and this is like the what do we got? New Year's people, right? Obviously, unfortunately they wait until New Year's to do this shit. You don't have to do that, but before you can do anything else, you have to eliminate all of your excuses. It's like Lourdes said. You have to in the sales world, we call that objections. Because you're gonna do it too. You're gonna do it to yourself too. You're gonna say, do I have the time? Do I have the money? Do I have this? Is my spouse gonna support me? Blah, 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 blah. Right? Right? They're all basically, I mean, obstacles, excuses, whatever you want to call that. Okay. You have to eliminate all that shit first. Because if you don't, then it's gonna be way too easy to quit at some point. Right? Once you actually start doing this stuff, you're gonna, like I said, you're gonna blame your spouse. You're gonna blame the fact that you feel like you perceive you don't have the time or the energy or whatever. Right? Right? So you gotta knock those out first. Hey, and you guys might want to take notes or just at least mental notes on this stuff. So what are some objections that you think would get in the way of your like even starting?
He's unattractive but got a lot of money. Well,
Oh, it's like who's talking?
Don't feel good, tired,
Yeah.
busy, whatever excuse, you're gonna come up with one if you don't really decide.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a lot of stuff, you know? It could be a lot of stuff. But I will tell you right now, there is always a way to get around that stuff, to overcome your obstacles, right? And even if it's money, like I'm not saying these things aren't like legitimate. Maybe money is an issue. But that does not have to stop you from living a healthier lifestyle or exercising. I mean, you could just use your body weight, you know? You don't have to go to a gym. You know what I mean? The energy, like a lot of people use that. What they don't understand is a lot of times they don't have the energy because they're not doing stuff. They're not eating right. They're not sleeping enough. They're not exercising, right? And it like time is another big one we get at the gym. Like, I don't know if I have the time. I don't have time. Man, there's 24 hours a day. I can give you all the little numbers. You know, an hour workout's what 4% of your day and all that shit. 168 hours in a week. You only really need 3 of those to be successful and change your health. Okay. So like people usually have plenty of time. And I'm not saying people are not busy, but again, it kind of goes back to the energy thing. If you are not as healthy as you need to be, you're not working out, your cognitive function's worse, your energy's worse, you're not going to be as productive. You know, so people that work out, they actually feel like they get more time back just because they're more productive. They're more efficient machines, you know? So that's usually the first step, you guys. Like overcome all the possible objections that you could have. That'd be like a good step number 1. Okay.
There is.
Second step. This kind of goes into like what Lauren, you know, was saying and Brooke. I mean, getting your body composition is very important. But what two things do you think that are? Let me say it this way. Out of everything that you can use to track your health, you guys, what do you think are the biggest factors? What do you think you need to do to like make sure you're getting healthy, or know if you're healthy in the first place?
Go to the doctor and do all your blood work
Yeah,
yearly.
bingo. Yeah, blood work is huge, you guys, because like you can feel healthy, you can even be generally pretty healthy, your body composition, but like genetics has a lot to do with it too. And sometimes you feel okay, but unless you do that blood work, you have no idea. You have no idea. And with a lot of these like ailments and sicknesses and whatever, you got to catch them early, you know? And anything from like cancer to high blood pressure, it doesn't matter. The key is catching it early, right? And then staying on it. So doing your blood work often. Oh, Walker, Lord, can you help her out? Doing your blood work is important. What else, you guys? What else do you think is like the most important thing to look at for health?
Brooke said body fat. What about knowing your-
Exactly. Yeah, you guys both said it. Yeah, Brooke and Lauren. So the body composition. That's the other thing. So, like in my opinion, those two things are like the most important. Your blood work, pretty often, and then also your body composition. Notice I didn't say weight. Most people say weight. Right? If you worked with me, you know better.
Right.
But it's the body fat percentage, you guys. And the weight, there is a loose correlation with weight and health, all right? But it's a very, very, very loose correlation. It doesn't talk about the individual's specific health necessarily. That's more productive for like maybe comparing a population to a different population and saying like, okay, overall, these people are more overweight or these people are more underweight. Doesn't necessarily tell you about their specific, individual health. And the reason why is because the composition of the body is what determines the health, right? And obviously, like the bodybuilder is a good example. A lot of times they're shorter, they have more muscle, even though their body fat's low, they're going to be obese on the body mass index, right? And then you might have someone who doesn't weigh hardly anything and doesn't have a lick of muscle on their body, and their body fat's like through the roof. Well, that person's more at risk than the other person for health issues, right? So yeah, body composition. Oh my God, Walker! If you can hear me, hit the Lord,
No.
hit the microphone. There we go. My God, Walker! Don't touch anything else. Don't touch anything.
Okay. I was
He's
trying
back.
to unmute it. I couldn't unmute it.
You figured out how to do it.
Yeah, I'm just talking. I'm like, damn, they don't hear me.
Oh my God. Hey, did you hear us though?
Yeah, I heard y'all.
Okay. So you heard. So yeah, blood work, you guys, and then your body composition. Those would be probably the two most important things to identify and keep track of. Okay. All right. So after you have overcome your possible, excuses and objections that you can come up with, and then you at least kind of establish like a good starting point, to do the body composition thing. Yeah, you're gonna have to go get with a professional.
Yeah.
Well,
I go to the doctor every 3 months to get my blood work done. So
yeah. Blood work's important. Important. The body fat percentage. If you don't go to a trainer, you don't have to necessarily go to a trainer. There's different places that'll just do that for you. They can do like a DEXA scan and stuff like that, But you should have that done. You should have that looked at.
But I still also think that you need a plan after that. You know what I'm saying? Like, people think like, oh, this much weight. Well, let me run the whole time, and they don't need to be running, right?
Well, wait. Hang on, you're echoing a little bit. What did you say?
I was saying.
I think
That's because you two are close together.
Yeah, you guys are close to each
we
other.
are. So I was saying, no, it's not going to hold yourself. But
You said
because
right?
it's because if people think like they'll get their body fat composition, they'd be like, well, okay, I need to go run. But I feel like you need that professional person to say, no, you don't need to run. Like you told me, like I need to do this much of weightlifting a week, and then I don't even need to do that much cardio.
Yeah.
Like I thought I needed to. So
Yeah. No, definitely. You're on track. I mean, like, yeah, it's like this, you guys. When you have legal issues that are serious, you go hire an attorney, right? Right? Or or whatever. If you have, if you have some mental stuff going on and you feel like you need to talk to somebody, you go
Go to
get
a
a
therapist.
therapist. You know what I mean? Like you get a counselor, right? Like it's the same thing with your health and your fitness. Like if you need help, why would you not go get a professional? Like we get professionals with everything else we do in our lives. If you need help with your taxes, you go see Lourdes. Okay, like I mean, like, like you gotta seek out the professional. But yes, you're definitely right for sure. So, all right, guys, a next good step. Okay, just follow me. So we talked about overcoming the obstacles. We talked about getting identifying what we need to look at for your health. The next thing is talking about a plan. All right, because most people just don't have a good plan. And again, like I said, the harsh reality is just because you're working out, just because you're going to the gym consistently, does not mean you're doing it effectively. It doesn't mean that you're going to see the results you want to see. So that comes down to having a good, solid approach, a good, solid plan. And this is what, if you guys work with me, you might not remember this stuff, but every plan can be boiled down to basically a few components, right? Right. So the number one thing, you guys, and these components are kind of broad categories, and there's like different variables that fall under each one. But number one thing is effective goal setting. And I know that that doesn't sound too important, but you have to have a really clear objective of what you guys want to do, or else you're not going to know where to start. You're not going to know how to make changes along the way effectively, and you're probably going to quit at some point, right? So, when we're sitting down again, we're selling training, you guys. We ask people all the time, okay, what are your goals? And what do you think they say? Oh, I want to lose fat. I want to do this. I want to do that. And that's fine. But there's usually way more to that. They're just like, why do you want to lose fat? Right? So this is where I want you guys to participate. What are your guys' fitness goals? Who wants to go? Somebody tell me their goals.
My fitness goal as of today is to at least tone.
Okay. So toning, okay, good.
Toning and trying to eat more healthy.
Okay, good.
My fitness goal is to tone, be
Okay.
fine as wine at the age of 56, and don't take no shit off nobody.
Yeah, baby.
I love it.
Ain't nobody. I want to look well. Can't nobody tell me nothing when I walk through there. Oh, girl, God
Dang.
I love it. Okay. Those are good goals. I know you got some goals, Brittany.
Brittany, come on with them
What are you
goals,
doing,
girl.
Brittany? Wait. We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, Brittany.
You're muted still. There you go.
Sorry, my doppelganger muted me.
Yeah.
No, I like the other two ladies. I want to be toned too. Like,
Yes.
outside of what we do with William, I started cardio again. Like, I think mentally, for me, I want to get to where I'm running. Like I'm jogging, running. By the time it get warm, really warm. And also water intake. Like I'm just not that water intake at all.
Okay. So your goals, you want to tone too, basically, right?
Mhm.
I think everybody here wants to tone, really.
Yeah.
Is that where everybody's at?
I wanna-
Britt?
Big
And
booty
I-
and small waist.
Okay.
That's all.
You and Lauren are pretty much same goal.
Is that
Big booty,
that's
small.
what I want?
Yeah. Reed?
I want to beat Gina Roberts at Storm.
Oh, okay.
And
That's a good goal.
Addie M. If I go up against her again, I want to beat her.
Okay.
And I get first place in all the shows that I do this season.
Okay.
Right.
Those are great goals, everybody. Okay. All right. So in identifying this goal, okay, we're trying to do effective goal setting. So the first step is really identifying why these are important to you. Like, why do you guys want to do this stuff? there has to be a reason. There has to be. Why is this important to you, Lourdes?
Well, because like Miss Lashanda said, when I walk in the gym, I want to everybody turn and look at me and say, "Whoa, look at her! She's fine."
Exactly.
Okay. But okay, fair enough.
The reason why I want to do it, I want to feel good, look good, feel good about myself, and knowing that I'm healthy.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I want everybody to do this in their minds. But Lourdes, what is that going to do? What is it going to do for you if you can walk into the gym and everybody notices you and everybody's like, "Oh my God, they're inspired by you. They want to. They want to
Well,
be."
you
like
know
Lourdes."
what? No, forget about that because I already do that when I walk into.
Come on, Lourdes.
But
Yeah.
honestly, I just want to be healthy because I turned 53 and my little one is 11 years old. So I want to, live longer for them.
Okay. So there you go. But I mean, it's okay to want to do that stuff, but obviously, the main reason is because you want to be healthy for your family. You want to make sure
Yes.
you have some longevity and stuff like that.
You want to
Exactly.
keep up with the
I
Exactly.
just want
keep up with the grandkids.
I just want to be healthy because you know what? The sexy body comes extra.
Okay. Fair enough. So the thing you guys need to ask yourself, why is this important? And this is a good technique too. In 2 to 5 years or 2 to 10 years down the road, whatever, when you accomplish these things, how's your life going to be different? And it's actually good to talk about that. Like talk it out. Like tell yourself why these things should be different. How's that? Then you say, how is your life going to be different or not be different? Maybe your life's going to be the same, or maybe it's going to be worse if you don't accomplish these things in that same time frame. Right? Like if you don't get to where you want to be in 2 years, how do you think your life's going to be? Right? That's another thing to think about. And a lot of times when you when you start thinking that and talking about that, you're going to motivate yourself a lot more. Like nobody wants to be backwards in 2 years or in the same spot. You know what I mean? Okay. So yeah. So that's the thing. You guys got to get real clear with these goals. Now, under goal setting, obviously it's good to set short-term goals, good to set long-term goals, right? There's an acronym called SMART. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that. And sometimes these words get shuffled around. They're like interchangeable. Sometimes they change the words, but you might want to write this down. Specific. Your goals have to be specific. It's not enough to just say, I want to lose weight. Like, okay, fine. I want to tone up. Cool. What does that mean to you? You want to lose more fat? You want to build more muscle? That's usually what toning. You want to fit into like different clothes?
Yeah.
You got to be specific with these goals. All right. And then the M in SMART is measurable. Like you got to have a way. This is where tracking comes in. You got to have a way to track these goals. You have to have a way to make sure that, things are changing the right way and in the right time frame. Right. So tracking is huge, whether you're talking about calories or tracking your workouts, tracking your heart rate, tracking whatever. That's part of goal setting. Establishing a good starting point, establishing a good timeline, how long it should take. And you can even break it down. I'm not going to get into this too much, but there's something called macro cycles, microcycles, mesocycles. Okay. So macro cycle would be like at the end of the year, where do I want to be? All right. I'm here at the end of the year where I want to be. Then a mesocycle is maybe like the months, right? Like each month, how much progress do you want to make? And then the microcycle would be like each week. What am I going to do this week to get so that I'm at that end result at the end of the month, right? And then by the end of the year, after all these months have passed, I want to be at that end result, okay? But you have to track it, right? And then the A is attractive. So basically all that's saying is kind of like what we did before. Why is this important to you? Why is this goal attractive to you? How is this going to change your lifestyle, right? And realistic. That's the R. You definitely want to be realistic with your goals. I mean, and realistic meaning, like if you say I want to tone up, you might be like, I want to lose 100 pounds in a month. That's not realistic. Okay, so you don't want to do that. And then the T is timely. That's basically talking about doing things at like a healthy rate. So for toning, obviously the goal would be losing fat, not muscle, right? But you want to tone at about a rate of 1 to 2 pounds a week of fat loss. That's a good rate to go. You should not be going faster than that because usually you're losing the wrong stuff if you are. And if you're not, I mean, it's okay to go slower, but 1 to 2 weeks, 1 to 2 pounds a week is good. And when I say pounds, you guys, again, I just want to reiterate, I'm talking about fat, not just weight, because you might be building muscle too. So on the scale, it might not be a pound at the end of the week. You might only lose a half a pound because you built some muscle. Right. Okay.
What was the A?
What's that?
The A.
Attractive.
Attractive.
Yeah. So like, why is it important to you, basically? Why is that? Why do you want? What's the real reason you want to do that thing? Okay. So that would be goal setting. That's the number one component in a plan, in a solid plan. Okay. All right. Next thing is nutrition. That's number 2. And yeah. And you guys, again, we're not going to get into too much specifics with it, but the first step is identifying how many calories you need to consume for your goals. And even though you guys have been working out for a long time, right? All of you, and you've all been fairly consistent. Do you know with confidence right now at this moment, not you, Lourdes? Well, you should though, but you don't count in this question. Do you know with confidence how many calories you should be consuming right at this moment?
No.
Okay, exactly.
What, based on our weight or just
So
what they
just, no. Well, yes and no, based on your goals.
Oh, yeah.
You do?
Yeah, you told me mine.
Okay, you're cheating. No, I'm saying that. Yeah. Okay. Well, okay, but no. Well, I did tell you yours, but that could be different now, though. Because remember. Now, and again, we're not going to get into too much, but your weight, your calorie intake. So remember with nutrition, guys. And again, it's not like rocket science, but on paper, this is how it should work. If you want to tone and lose weight, it's easier to do that in what's called a deficit. That means you're going to burn more calories than you put in your body, right? And then every now and then at the gym, we get people who want to bulk up. They want to gain weight. It's easier to gain weight in a surplus. That means you're consuming more than you put in your body. I'm sorry. You're consuming more than you're burning off. Okay. So if you're in a surplus, you're eating more calories than you're burning off every day. If you're in a deficit, you are burning more calories than you are consuming. All right. And then if you want to just maintain your weight and kind of change your body composition, then that's called maintenance calories. Your input should equal your output, generally, right? You should be consuming about the same amount of calories you burn every day. Now, and again, I said on paper that's the way it is, but just keep in mind, you guys, the bad thing to do is to go too far in one direction. So if you just tell somebody, hey, to lose weight, you got to be in a deficit, and they take that to the extreme, they're going to lose the wrong kind of weight. They're going to destroy their metabolism. They're gonna lose muscle. They're gonna get smaller, but they're not gonna tone like they want to. And then it probably is gonna come all back on at some point because the metabolism gets so screwed up. And then usually they're doing something pretty extreme to get down there, quickly, that they're not gonna maintain. And once they kind of switch gears and their lives, they kind of normalize things. Then because the metabolism messed up, they gain all that weight right back, and usually more than started. Same thing when you're bulking. Obviously, if you're bulking, you don't want to go too far over because even though you're putting on a lot of muscle, you're going to put on a lot of fat too. And that at the end of the day, that can be kind of counterproductive when you want to start to cut again, because then you just run the risk of losing all that muscle you built. Not all of it, but some of it, which you don't want to do. That's counterproductive. So you guys, the first step is identifying basically how many calories you're burning per day. Right? And with the technology these days, there's a lot of different ways you can do that. You can use your Fitbit, your Apple Watch, whatever. There's online calculators and stuff you can use. But again, the best step is to find a professional that can actually help you do that. And the most accurate way to do it is have someone do your body composition so that they can calculate your BMR. That's how many calories you burn at rest. And then put together a program for you so you know how many calories you're burning through activity. And if you have those two things, what you burn at rest plus your activity, that's basically what you burn every day. Okay. And this is where tracking, again, you guys, comes into play, because for one, you're not going to know how many calories you're eating unless you track it, right? Or unless you're on a meal plan or something. But that's still kind of a form of tracking. But yeah, that's the first. You got to track, you guys, and make sure You're doing that consistently. And as your body changes, again, the two main things is body composition and activity levels that determine how many calories you burn. So in a month from now, this is why I was telling you, Brooke, I might have told you a few months ago or whatever. But if your body composition is different and your activity level is different, then you're not burning the same thing you were, which means you need to adjust those calories. You know, you got to kind of hit the reset button every few weeks until you get to where you want to be. Right. And then there's macros, which again, we're not going to go into like detail, but you know, if you want to lose and gain the right kind of weight, you have to eat the right percentage of stuff, proteins, carbs, and fats, right? So keep that in mind. All right. Okay. That would be nutrition. Third component, you guys, would be cardio. Okay. And, you know, it's like Brittany said, I want to do more cardio outside of boot camp, which whatever, that's fine. But as a professional, our goal is to help you guys maximize your time and make sure that when you're doing that stuff, you're doing it the right way, you're doing it effectively, you're doing it safely, right? All right. So have you guys ever heard of it's called the FIT principle?
No.
Some of you guys, yes, you have. Who said no? I told you what, but that's okay. I don't expect you to remember it. FIT principle. That would be frequency, intensity, time, and type. Those are the 4 variables you should be tracking when you're talking about cardio. Frequency, how often you're doing it. Your intensity level, okay? So your heart rate, right? And then how long you're going, what duration of cardio. That's the time, that's the first T. And then type is the last T. So what type of cardio? Is it running? Is it jogging? Is it biking? Is it rowing? Is it swimming? You know, sports, whatever. Okay? So again, I'm just trying to help you guys get a clear picture of all the moving pieces that are kind of in a plan and why so many people fail when they try to see results and live a fitness lifestyle, because most people are not even scratching the surface with all this stuff. All right. So with that FIT principle, you guys, how often you do it, that depends on your goal. Okay. The biggest, most important piece that I could probably help you with today is the intensity levels. Okay, so where your heart rate should be. The difference between trying to do this stuff on your own and having a professional, it's a big difference. There's a lot of information out there in the fitness world, right? In the fitness industry. Most of the information, I'm not saying it's good or bad, it's just very general. It's not specific to the person. And heart rate is a prime example, okay? So there's something called age predicted target heart rate. Have you guys ever heard of that? Age predicted target heart rate. Okay. If you probably never looked on the cardio equipment. The cardio equipment, they all have this little chart. Most of them do at least, where it'll show your age and then a certain percentage, right? And then it has these numbers in there. That is,
Oh yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that.
yeah, that's called your age predicted target heart rate. So basically, to condition your heart, you need to be training at a certain percentage of what's called your max heart rate. Okay, so max heart rate is always 220 minus your age. Just keep that in mind. So everything is based off the max heart rate, 220 minus your age. Okay. Now, unless you're around the ballpark of about 60% or more of that, you're not really conditioning your heart. And the most, like the golden, kind of like the target heart rate golden zone would be 70 to 80% of that. Okay. That's where you want to get to. So like when people say, hey, I'm doing cardio, there's a difference between activity and cardio. Activity is great. You guys, you can burn calories just going for a walk or whatever. That doesn't mean it's necessarily cardio. Unless you're at 60% or higher, you're not really getting much heart conditioning. And again, this is not like, it's not, again, I'm trying to be just 1000% honest with you. This is why
You said 220. You said 220 minus your age.
Yeah, that's called your max heart rate. That's called your max heart rate. 220 minus your
Oh
age.
wow.
So and
Oh,
then
okay.
and this is just based off of your age, obviously, you guys. So if you want to find 60% of that, you just times that by 0.6. Or if you want to find 70, multiply that by 0.7. If you want to find 80%, multiply that by 0.8. So when you do a cardio session, the most effective zone to condition your heart is 70 to 80% of your max heart rate. Okay. Now, again, I just want to reiterate the importance of, like what Brooke was saying, having a professional, because you can do that. This information's out there. This is nothing new. You can go Google this stuff. This is on the cardio equipment. Sometimes gyms will have a little chart that'll just show you whatever. You don't even have to do the math. You can just look at your age and go over to 70%. They'll show you. But most of the time that's not going to work for most people. And can you figure out why? Lauren, no. Do you guys know why? Somebody?
Ask- What was the question?
If you use your age to determine what your training zone should be, why don't you think that's effective?
Everybody not the same.
Exactly. Everybody doesn't have the same conditioning levels at your age. Okay. So you can do that, and it may or may not put you in the ballpark, but the most effective way to do it is take your resting heart rate. That determines your conditioning levels. Okay. Then there's a different formula called the Carbonum formula, and you can use that, which specifies it to you. That takes into account your resting heart rate. Okay. So again, that's another example of why it's important to have a good solid plan, why it's important to track this plan, and make sure if you don't know how to do this stuff, get a professional, right? So that would be intensity. Time, obviously, how long you're going on the cardio, pretty straightforward, pretty self-explanatory. If you want to go longer, go longer. That might be one thing you tweak. And then the type of cardio. The type of cardio is probably the least most important thing to change because, and I always tell people, think of cardio as a tool to condition your heart. It's not necessarily something that's going to do anything to your muscles. I mean, it can slightly stimulate muscle growth, but we're not doing cardio for like our muscles, okay? It might make them burn and shit, but that's not why we're doing it. We're doing it for heart conditioning, okay? Now, if your muscles are burning from doing cardio, that's probably just because you just need more muscular endurance and you just need to do more cardio. You got to move around more. But we're doing it for heart conditioning. So my whole point is, if you just like a form of cardio and you just want to do that, just do that. Do that. But what's going to happen is over time, you're going to get more efficient at doing that. So you're going to have to work harder to get in the same zone as you were before, which is why it's good to change the type of cardio every now and then. Okay?
Exactly.
Makes sense? Makes sense? Okay, guys.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Strength training. Strength training. Yes. This is a very important part of the program.
Yes, and that's what I need. Some damn strength training.
Well, be careful because this is a matter of terminology. Now listen. What I mean by that is anything that you do to load your muscles with some resistance is considered strength training, right? Like your body weight is still considered strength training. If you're doing knees or sit-ups or squats or whatever, because you're just using your body weight to place load on the joints and the muscles, right?
Yeah.
So that's still strength training. And like there's free weights, there's machines. If you're using a ball or cables or whatever, anything that's going to help you place load on the muscles is considered strength training. Now, with that said, obviously there's plenty of different kinds of strength training. You can do different ways you can strength train, and you got to do it for your goals, obviously. And this is where it can get a little complicated because there's different goals. Some people just want to get stronger. Some people want to have better balance. Some people want to have better core strength. Some people want to have, they're playing a sport, so they have to be more explosive. Some people just want bigger muscles. They don't really care if they're like stronger necessarily, or if they have better muscular endurance. They just want more size on their muscle. And some people, because of maybe their job or whatever, they need to have more muscular endurance. They need to be more functional, right? But all of that falls under strength training. So my main point is this: you got to train for your goals, but you also need to be well-rounded. So again, I'm not going to go into detail too much because this could take like all day. But if you want to get bigger muscles, the best zone to train in would be about 8 to 12 reps, generally. And that means you cannot do more than 12 reps, which is about 70% of your 1 rep max. Okay. So 8 to 12 reps. But if that's the way you train all the time, you're going to plateau and you're neglecting a lot of other stuff, right? You're neglecting, your muscular endurance. To train like that, you're probably not doing as much like functional training. Maybe you're not working your core as much. Maybe you're not moving around as much. So my point is you do have to have some variety in your training, but it needs to be like systematic. You don't just do random stuff. You don't just change it randomly whenever you feel like doing something different. There's got to be a system. You got to come up with a plan. You got to execute that plan and then know when you need to change it. When you change it is usually based on how your body's responding. That's why you need to do your body composition every few weeks. Okay. But there is training obviously for different goals, but you need to keep track of some variables when you do your strength training. Obviously, how much weight you're using, right? That's basic. You need to do that. How many reps? How many sets? All right. Another reason why it's good to have a professional is because they can look at your body when you're performing these things. You can't see your whole body when you're doing stuff. So your range of motion, your form, the tempo that you're using, all those things can contribute to you stimulating muscle or getting injured if you're doing it wrong. Right?
That's why I need you to train me at the gym.
Well, you don't necessarily need somebody there, but you need but you need to understand cues. Like you need to understand, like the examples of online, right? Right? Yeah, it would be great to have somebody standing there working with you, whatever. But you don't necessarily have to. I mean, utilize the mirrors, right? You take your app, and in the app shows you the exercises, and the app cues you like, hey, do this with your feet, do this with your hips, do this with your. That's better than just trying to wing it and do it by yourself. You know what I mean?
William,
Yeah.
I've seen people. I've watched people like on TV that's never been in a gym and they just so fit.
Yeah. You don't have to be at the gym to do this stuff.
I've never seen they never lift weights, none of that, and they just got muscle. And I'm like, how is that possible?
Yeah, but you got to be careful. Who are you talking about on social media?
Yeah, I've seen people that do that.
Well, you got to be careful, Walker. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing. You ever heard the term "they're doing it for the gram"?
Yeah,
Sometimes people just do stuff for the gram. They never train that way. You're not gonna.
That's
if you're all
crazy.
built and you have tons of muscle and stuff like that. You're not gonna be doing like stability ball, whatever, with 10 pounds for 1,000,000 reps. This is not how.
that's crazy.
They're doing that so people click on it and look at it. Oh my god, that looks cool. I want to try that.
I don't want to try that. That's crazy.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and 90% of the population can't even do that stuff anyway.
Voy por el carro rentado.
And
También es ahorita rento.
here's
Ahorita
the other thing. They're probably taking some stuff they're not telling you they're taking.
Yeah, because they up there talking about they never been in a gym and their bodies is like they look like they lift weights and stuff. That's crazy.
Yeah, don't get sucked into that. Don't get sucked into that.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Keep track of those variables, you guys. And Lourdes, I think initially, I would agree with you. It's good to have a professional there initially with you, but somebody like you who's already had trainers before, I think you would do fine with like the app or having, just having some instructions and some cues on how to execute the stuff the right way because you've already had people there, I mean,
well, yeah, I've had a trainer, but not as good as you.
Right. Okay. Well, I appreciate that.
So,
I appreciate that. And that might be
no,
true.
I mean,
that might be true. But
Well,
because you know
yeah,
what,
you
with
gonna get-
Carlos, with Carlos all the time, I was doing my exercises and I would ask him, am I doing it right? Yeah, everything looks good. He never
Oh
said
my
anything. So
God.
I mean, I'm like, okay.
and William.
No,
And that's the reason why we switched over to you because of
no.
Carlos.
Exactly.
that is not good. That's not a good thing. That's not a good thing.
So I'm thinking to myself, hey, I'm not that perfect.
Oh my God. No, true. And it's not a knock. Like,
That's why.
everybody has stuff they can get better at for sure. For sure. Everybody does. But yeah, I mean, initially, yeah, for sure. I don't think it's never a bad idea to have somebody there with you initially. But, at some point, when you get to a point where you're a little bit more advanced, then it's more about just having the right programming. You don't necessarily need somebody there with you all the time. But also keep this in mind, too. Even when you have a trainer, though, you guys, most of the work is still going to be done on your own. That is the truth. So you got to pay attention while you're with the trainer so that when you are by yourself, you're confident that you're doing it the right way.
See, I only need the trainer to help me with the weights, bring them down, and because all the equipment sometimes is too big for me there.
Exactly. Yeah. But I mean, like I said, as a trainer, our goal is eventually to make you guys self-sufficient. You know what I mean? Like, we want to give you the tools so that you can go and do this stuff on your own.
On your own, yeah.
At some point in time, you should be able to. Now, I'm not saying, hey, even if you're well advanced, those people still have coaches and people they work with. Don't get me wrong. Like, sometimes it's just accountability. They're just doing it because they know they're going to stay more consistent because they're checking in with someone. But yeah, I mean, so the strength training, you guys, keep track of those variables. have a good plan, train for your goals, know how to change it over time, because that is something else that you're going to need to know how to adjust over time. And then the last thing, we've kind of been tying this in throughout the whole process today. Professional assistance, right? We've already kind of dug into why you want to have that professional assistance, the guidance. You know, having someone to keep you motivated, having someone to coach you, cue you, making sure you're doing stuff safely. And a lot of this stuff is mental too, you guys. Like, you need to have someone sometimes give you pep talks. You know what I mean? Like you know,
That's
it's
true.
funny. It's funny because some of you have had this conversation with me already. You probably know what I'm gonna say. You have to, you
Woo!
guys, if you do seek out a professional, you got to be coachable. This is not about your ego. It's not about, like, again, when a coach is trying to hold you to the highest standard and trying to make you better, their job is not to tell you what you want to hear necessarily. Their job is to tell you what you need to hear so that you can get better. You know, and it's not like an attack on you. A lot of people take that, not a lot of people, but some people take that personally. And it's like, oh my God, we're not calling you bad people. We're not saying you suck at life. We're just saying, like, hey, this is the truth. This is why we're not where we want to be yet, but this is how we're going to do it. And sometimes you just gotta be straightforward, you know, and you know, not do it in a way that's professional, obviously. But
Yeah, and that person not gonna always want to hear that, but hey, that's how it is.
Bernadette she's a little late. She just logged in. My God. But anyway,
We getting ready to get off.
but a lot of this is mental, you know, and having some accountability, having someone to check in with, you know, you guys is huge. Is huge. There's gonna be plenty of days you don't feel like doing what you're doing. There's gonna be plenty of days you're questioning why you're getting up and doing the early bird boot camp, whatever. Okay, but you can go back to two things: why you started in the first place. Like that's why that why is so important. You know,
We need that kind of group too. Like when you don't feel like doing it, you need we need a group like that where we can log in and say, "Girl, you got this. Go do it. Get it done."
Yeah. Having a good support system's huge.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
and that's another reason why people get professionals to work with. Bernadette, what happened?
I worked. I had a meeting, so
Oh
I'm
my-
sorry.
Oh my God, Bernadette! Hey, well,
Hey, At least
anyway.
I did a little bit of it. I don't mind. It's
No,
fine.
you're good. No, we only got a few minutes. All the
Yeah.
calls are very beneficial, in my opinion, you guys. It's just free
Yeah.
information. But remember, you can always log in to go listen to it. I recorded this one, so you can log in later.
Okay.
But this is one you might want to hear.
Okay.
Yeah. You log in, you know, and be ready to take some notes too.
Okay.
Be ready to take some notes. But anyways, hey, that's about all I got for you today, you guys. So those are the different components in the plan and the program that you should have in place. If you are, I'm gonna say right now, you guys are already on the right track. But if you are struggling in any of those areas, or you don't have all those answers that we covered today to the questions that I was asking, then yeah, I would get with a professional, you guys. Seriously, I'm telling you, like I would seek out some help, because one of the worst things that you can do is invest your time and effort into this stuff and spin your wheels. And I see that all the damn time at the gym. I'm telling you, like, these people, I think a lot of times people feel like because they're paying for a membership, it's going to kind of just happen. You have to make yourself available. Like Brittany said, you have to be able to be coachable. And you also have to just, you know, have a good plan, you guys. Like, you got to make sure that, you know, if you don't have that plan in place, it's going to be hard to live a fitness lifestyle. And at the end of the day, living a fitness lifestyle, making fitness a lifestyle is like the key. That's how you're going to get from where you're at today to where you want to get to. So, you know, it's like just to recap. So in the beginning, you need to first make the decision. You got to, you know, overcome all the obstacles, right? Overcome all the obstacles that could be in your way, or perceived obstacles, okay? So all those objections. Make sure that you like establish a good starting point as far as your health goes. So do your blood work, get all that out of the way, you know, have someone do your body composition. Then you can start setting some clear goals. And then, like I said, going through each component and making sure you have each thing in place. I know it sounds like a lot. It took a damn hour to go over this stuff, and we didn't even go into detail. But this is why it's good to hire a professional. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That makes sense. It's a lot of stuff, you guys. But that's what we're here to do, is help you guys out with that. Okay. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that?
No, we love you. Thank you so much for all
Hey,
the good
I love you
information.
guys. I love you guys too. I appreciate you.
Good session, William.
Yeah, good. Hopefully you took some notes, and hopefully that helps. All right, guys. Hey, thanks for jumping on. Like I said, I recorded it, so I will post this. Well, hopefully today, but it'll be posted before the next call. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Guys, all right. Have a good day. Have a good day.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Have a good one.